What is up, YouTube? I have not made a video in months because, quite frankly, you know, I've been done with school, and well, not done with school. I've been in a lot of essays and projects and whatever, and I just haven't found the time. But now, you know, I'm graduated, senior year, and now I'm free to do whatever, home alone, whatever. Okay, so I decided, how would I come back? And ladies and gentlemen, I'm coming back with a bang. Because let me introduce you to probably the dumbest duelist I've come across so far on DN. I've had a lot of dumb people in the past. So many stories I could tell you. There's been a lot of stuff since I made my last video. Plenty of stuff. But this takes the cake. Okay, let me explain what's going on before I get into it. So, I'm playing Boojins, and he's playing the Dragon Rulers, which is taking over this meta, which I don't mind because I like playing Elemental Dragons. So I have Yamato. If you don't know what they do, I have Yamato on the field, and he attacks into me with Blaster. So I'm like, okay, and I discard Habakiri, which is the little bird thing that you see in the grave. And what it does is that it says during damage calculation, a Beast Warrior Boojin monster you control has its attack doubled for that damage calculation only. So he's trying to say that my monster is destroyed, his monster lives, yet he takes damage because it's during the damage step. So I'm like, no, that's not how that card works. Obviously, if you attack into me and I discard this card, my attack doubles and I run over your monster. He's like, no, the monster is destroyed first and then damage calculation. I'm like, what planet do you live on? Monsters are destroyed during the damage step. And then he tries to explain that the way that the whole battle works is that you target, then you attack, then they're destroyed, then damage calculation. No, damage calculation and destruction is during like the same thing. And I know that's how it looks on like the rule book, but that's the admin will come later and you'll see. But now my biggest gripe was he took damage. What happened was he attacked into me, I discarded it, and he was like, okay. So he goes, okay, you're still destroyed, but I'll take damage. Why would you take damage, but my monster's destroyed? If you take damage, that obviously means I beat over your monster, and your monster is destroyed. Why would I be destroyed? That makes no sense. So I'm trying to explain. I'm like, well, what about Honest? Have you ever played against that? And I don't know if it's here, because again, you know me from past videos. I can barely read the text because the video box that I'm looking at is tiny, and I can't really see the text that's going on, so I don't know what we're up to. But he tries to explain to me at some point that Honest works, that the monster doesn't get destroyed because it lasts till the end phase. I'm like, are you that stupid? Because look, both of them say that you discard them. Habakiri and Honest say that they're discarded during the damage step. So the monster gets to live just because it lasts till the end phase? That makes no... By your logic, you're saying that the monster is destroyed before damage calculation, and Honest is discarded during the damage calculation. So why the hell would a monster using Honest get to live, but my guy with Habakiri doesn't? That makes no sense. So he calls an admin. He's like, yeah, we'll see. He's in all caps and whatever. And I'm like, this has got to be the dumbest fuck to date. The only one that can tie this guy for dumbest duelist I've run into was a guy I was playing with battling boxers, which I didn't get to record because it happened in an instant. And I would like to have recorded it, but, you know, I was just... It went too quickly. I didn't get to record it. So, while we wait for this admin to come, because let's see, how much more footage do I have? I have about another 5 minutes before this video ends. So let me explain that story. So, you can tell me in the comments which duelist was more dumb. Or dumber, I should say. So basically, I'm playing Battling Boxers, and he's playing some scrub deck I've never seen before. Like, it was like a bunch of stuff mashed together. I don't even remember. So he summons Maestro, and I'm like, okay. So what I'm gonna do is, instead of going into lead yoke, because obviously if I attack over his Maestro, he'll just detach, and on the next turn he'll use his last material to flip yoke face down and run over him. So I'm like, okay, instead of that, I'll just make Battle and Boxer Kestis and run over him, because if you don't know what Kestis' effect is, it's basically when this card battles an opponent's monster, detach one, and its effects are negated for that battle, or during the battle phase. It's one of those. So, and the reason I was able to do this is because, again, he's playing some scrub deck, so I was able to have a Goblinberg on the field from like a previous turn. So I have the Goblinberg, he's got my S-Stroke, I play Switch Hitter, I special summon Glassjaw, and I put them all together to make Kestis. So he's like, you can't do that. I'm like, so I'm thinking that he's thinking that I can't use Goblinberg as a material because Lead Yoke says you need two material, two Battle Boxers. So I'm like, no. Kestis says you only need 3 level 4 monsters. He goes, no, that's not the problem, because you can't special summon another monster because you Switch Hitter's effect. And if you don't know what Switch Hitter does, Switch Hitter is you normal summon him and special summon a Battle Boxer from your grave. And if you do this, you can't special summon for the rest of the turn. Only you can't special summon unless you summon Battle Boxer monsters. So I'm like, so that's what he tells me, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I did. He goes, no, that's not what you did. I'm like, look at his name, number 105, Battle Boxer Kestis. He's like, no. I'm like, Lead Yoke isn't the only exceed for Battle Boxers. I'm like, look at his name, big caps and everything, that I'm starting to rage. I'm like, look at his friggin' name. It says Battle Boxer Kestis. So he's like, oh, okay. I'm like, are you that dumb? So, I mean, I guess you could say that he was the... Okay, in my opinion, that guy may have been the dumbest duelist, because at least with this guy, he read into the rule too much. He thought that, you know, it's destroyed and then damage step. I can understand it. So maybe this guy is not the dumbest duelist, because with the other guy, it was just plain not reading the card, because it said Battling Boxer Kestis. How do you not see that? And then the best thing was that wasn't the key. I escaped one headache and went into another one. What happened? Okay, so obviously I want to get over his Maestro. So I attack into it and I detach my material. Now his effects are negated. So he detaches one. And he's so I'm like, okay, Maestro is destroyed. He goes, no, I use his effect. I'm like, kid, are you illiterate? Look at his effect. He goes, yeah, and? I'm like, yeah. He goes, so I'm like, so you see his effect? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay then, Maestro is destroyed. He's like, no. I'm like no words. If you're reading the effect and you say you understand it, why aren't you doing it? You know what I mean? Like, it says, when this card battles a monster, detach one, that target's effects are negated, which means you can't use Maestro's effect to protect himself. Simple as that. So I'm like, how do you not see this? To which he then rage quit after that, which I would have loved for you to see. But again, it happened all so quick, I didn't get to record it. So, you tell me, which one is obviously the dumber duelist? I personally think it might have been the other kid with the Battle Boxer, because that was just plain not reading the card and knowing what the hell was going on. This kid, it was like a misconstruing of how the battle step works. So I can kind of understand him, because, you know, he read too much into it. I can understand that. So maybe this kid can run for second place. But damn it. Which, by the way, this kid was trying to tell me, this is basic Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm like, no, exactly. I wanted to tell him the same thing. Yeah, this is basic Yu-Gi-Oh! It's destroyed during damage step. It's not bad. It's at the same time. The hell is wrong with you? And I'm trying to tell him all the while, what would be the point of putting Habakiri in your deck? There would be no point. I mean, why would I put a card in my deck to that when you attack me, that, oh wow, I had way more footage. Wow. So I didn't have another 5 minutes. I actually have another 10. Okay, good. So, where was I? I'm like, what would be the point of this card? So you attack into me just so I can discard this card so that my monster gets destroyed, but you take just a little damage? What would be the point of this card? That makes no sense. And let me see if I can read this, what we're up to. Yeah, and this guy's trying to be smart. Whatever. Okay. So it doesn't even stop here. I kept recording because the admin shows up, proves him wrong, which I knew was going to happen. And I kept recording to see where the duel would go. I ended up losing because, even though because it's Dragon Rulers. What was I gonna do? But the thing that I kept recording about was, I think it may have been my fault because I realized it kind of near the end, but I'm not even sure. Because look, what I hate about like getting into an argument with somebody is that you lose track of what the hell is going on. That's especially bad when you're playing Dragon Rulers because you forget what effect happened that turn. Which, speaking of which, looking at it now, how the hell did he get 2 Blaster on the field? Because wouldn't he have to get 2, he would have to discard a burner, summon 1, then he would have to attack with 1 to... Oh, wow, this guy cheated! Damn it! Wow, I could have turned this duel around. Whatever. But again, I got so lost in the moment, I couldn't even focus, so whatever, shame on me. Whatever. Okay, so this admin doesn't show up for... Okay, he did. So basically, yeah, he comes, explains, I get ruled right, of course I did. And then that whole thing, you'll see what happens, because it was something about he used Redox's effect twice. I'm actually going to look at it now to see if he did. But even if he didn't, he still attacked twice with Blaster during this turn, and that's why I made my mistake. So whatever, it was a fool on both of our parts, but I think his was worse. Just saying, just because of me. I'm selfish, whatever. So I have about, let's see. Damn, this is gonna be a almost 24-minute video. It's gonna be a bitch to upload. So 24 minutes, we're at the 13-minute mark, so that means we got 11 minutes. So, I guess I'll explain my hiatus, because I haven't made a video in forever. I really don't know when, let me check for you real quick, we have time. Let's see, when was the last time I put up a video? Ages ago. I'm sorry for that. I mean, last time let's take a look, I've had a lot of stuff. No. Wrong thing I clicked. Let's see. What's going on in the duel right now? Let's see. Did the admin rule it? Yeah, he's like, you're confused, because that's not how it works. Okay. The last video I put up was back in February. God damn. And it was the video about the March 2013 ban list. Which is alright, because the ban list got leaked and everybody was talking about it. Okay. Yeah, I was talking about Goyo and how people were salty because they thought Goyo was getting unbanned. You fucking idiots. Goyo was never being unbanned. So I gave my thoughts and I included a match. I don't know what the match was on. I'm not gonna look at it. So yeah, let's see. February 21st. So it's been about 3 months. It's been over 3 months since I put up a video. That's bad. The thing is, I don't know why I haven't made a video in forever, because I've had a lot of material to deal with, because, let me tell you, over these past months, I've run into some dumb-ass players, because I have my little Noob Rage series. I mean, even though this is the 3rd episode, when in reality, I could have, like, 3 seasons by now if I had recorded everything that I've ever run into my whole DN career. I really would have like 4 seasons of stuff. But the point here is, yeah, I just took a break for a while. I got lazy because, you know, if it's about February, that's probably, you know, when I turned 18, and then I started going out more, and the end of my school year was wrapping up. I had essays to do, finishing up last term papers and whatever, researching, so I probably just didn't have the time to, so that's my excuse. That's my just plain excuse. Which, by the way, I think... okay, well, I'll watch it when I get to it. I realize here that I'm screwed, which I shouldn't have been, because he shouldn't have been able to attack with that other blaster, or gotten out, because I don't remember shit from before that little thing. I don't remember at all. So let me take the time now. I have, let's see, 7 minutes to talk. So let me just give my thoughts about this new meta. I don't not like the new dragon rulers. I, for one, embrace our new dragon rulers, dragon overlords. I tried playing E-Dragons for a while, and I like the deck. I like how it's fast. I'm a personal dragon fan. I would be like Dragon Duelist boy, whatever the fuck. No, I'm not even gonna say that. Cause I personally love dragons. They're like, it was funny. I was in the school one time. Wait, watch this. So he uses Smashing Ground, and my mistake. Smashing Ground doesn't target. So I banished the, what is that, Hitsuka? And he's like, it doesn't target. So I'm like, oh, my bad. So then he's like, oh, stop complaining. I said my bad. I'm not complaining. You'll see it when it comes up. So I've been playing with the E-Dragons. I personally love the deck. Oh, wait, yeah, I was going to say what happened in school. It was when I was little, and I said to my teacher, they're like, what's your favorite animal? I'm like, dragons. They're like, that doesn't exist. I'm like, don't ruin my... Well, I can't say ruin my childhood, because I was a child. But don't ruin my fantasy. I love dragons. So, I personally like dragons. I like dragons. If you watch ASDF, you know what that means. It's trains, but whatever. So when I heard about this deck, I personally love the elemental heroes. So when I was like, elemental dragons, you're mixing two of my favorite things. I'm gonna play the shit out of this deck, and I did. And I liked the deck, but after a while, I learned how derp it was. Because look, the play is not necessarily with the dragons. You don't really use the dragons that much. You're more using your Dragosac, your Synchros if you use Flame Veil Guard. Like I don't know why people don't use Flame Veil Guard. I've been looking at Shriek at the Japanese tournaments, and I haven't really seen a lot of people using Flame Veil Guard. Why? You can search it with Blaster. You can use Blaster's effect to pop with it if you really need it, and it's a level 1 dragon, which means you can banish it to summon another dragon. You can special summon your dragons, normal summon him, and then go into a level 8 synchro. So why not play it? I run too. So that's my thoughts on Flame Veil Guard. So I had fun with the deck. I was making all different... Look, the favorite part of playing it was actually the synchros for me. Not so much Dragosac and Big Eye, but whatever. So I was playing the deck, and I realized the deck's too common. The mirror match is a bitch. Yo, when you battle with elemental dragons, you wind up at some point during that duel with one guy having 4 Big Eyes on his field. I wanted to take a screenshot of that. Oh my god, it was the funniest thing. No. During one duel, I actually managed to have 5 Big Eyes across the board on my field. It was the funniest thing. I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I realized that it's not so much the dragons themselves, and it's more Dracosac and Big Eye and the synchros. I didn't really like that, because I, for one, like archetypes. I like playing with archetypes. Like when Elemental Heroes came out, you can really say that it was the first archetype. Not so much the Dark Magicians, because people tell me the Dark Magicians was like the first one, and I don't get that, because they don't have their own really support that much. I don't know. So for me, Elemental Heroes was the first archetype, and I liked it. So I just became a fan of pertaining to one name of a deck and playing with it. So Elemental Dragons, technically it is its own archetype, but the things that you end up using to run over your opponent are like things from other stuff. You use Big Eye, you use Dracosac, which is from an entirely different archetype, and then a bunch of synchros. So I was like, you know what? I don't feel fine with this. So I switched to Tidal Mermales, which Mermails is one of my favorite archetypes. So I started to play with that, and then during my playthrough with Title Mermails, I ran into a Boojin player, liked how the deck was played, and now I'm starting to use Boojins. To give a little summary on Boojins, or War Gods, basically your main thing is getting out Yamato, lol Naruto, and you'll see that in a second actually, Yamato, and then during the end phase, searching a Boojin relic and either keeping it in your hand or discarding it to the grave, because the deck is all about having Yamato as your main monster and then backing him up with relic Boojins in either your graveyard or your hand. Because let's see, Habakiri, with Habakiri, when your opponent attacks into you, it's like a Kalut. If your opponent targets him with an effect, you use Hetsuka. If you want to pop something on the field, you use Murakama, which I think is like the middle card, if you see it. And you get to reuse those things over and over, because you have cards like, I wouldn't say Rise of the Boojin, but there's another card, I think it's called Boojin Weapon Armament, which is great because it's a trap card. You flip it, and you get to either put a Boojin monster from your grave to your hand, which means you can reuse Habakiri, or you can get back your Yamato if he's destroyed, or you can send a banish card from your banish pile to your graveyard, not your hand, to your graveyard, so you can just use that again. So I really like the deck. It's got nice recruiting power. I mean, the one thing it struggles with is if you need to get to Yamato fast. That's like the heart and soul of the deck. The Exceed Susanoo, which is the best name ever for you Naruto fans. It's a good Exceed, in my opinion. Not the best thing ever, but it's pretty good for what it is. Like, in the deck, it's pretty damn good, because it's 2400, and most likely you're going to have Tenki, so it's 2500. And its effect is you detach one, and you either search a Boojin monster to your hand, or put one in your grave. So basically, you can set up whatever you want. You can put a Habakiri in your hand, put a Hetsuka in the grave, put a Murakama in the grave, do whatever the hell you want. It's just a good card. And plus, it's easy to get out if you have Rise of the Boojin, which is the spell card you see to your left in my hand. Ooh, that's all right. So yeah, this is wrapping up quick. I finally decided, F this kid, I'm just gonna give him the win, whatever. I don't want to deal with this headache of figuring out what effect happened where. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the new meta. I, for one, embrace our new Dragon Overlords. Maybe I'll do a deck profile of the boot. Okay, yeah, maybe for a comeback, because I really need to get my videos up to what they should be. I gotta make up for 3 months. So maybe I'll post some duels using this deck, Title Mermails, and the Dragon Rulers if you want. I'll put up my personal deck profile of Dragon Rulers, my Boojins, and what else? And the title. Actually, no, I can't put the Title Mermails because I necked that one. Maybe the Battling Boxers too. I mean, I'll put one up. I stopped using the Battling Boxers. I was using them, but then I realized the Dragon matchup was the worst thing ever, because you could just make a big eye and take the lead yoke. So I stopped using it. I was like, this is horrible. So the duel's coming to an end. I hope you enjoyed this dumbass. Like I said, I'll catch up with my videos. See ya, bros.